I knew it was going to happen. I seen this coming for like 50 laps. He passed me, and I thought, his boss, the guy that pays the bills, is running second. That's even more than a teammate, I believe, right? Like it's a lot.
Welcome back in, folks, to NASCAR Film Room. My name is Eric Eastep. I am joined by North Wilkesboro winner Joey Logano. Joey, congratulations. It's great to talk to you. I'm excited to talk to you specifically because there's been no one better at North Wilkesboro Speedway these past few seasons. You've got multiple wins, the most laps led by far. We'll dive into the highlights from the race in just a moment. But first off, just getting your first win this season, getting that monkey off your back. Has it sunk in yet this week? How are you feeling rolling into the Brickyard?
I mean, it's been great. I mean, just kind of your week gets busy every time you win, which is a great problem. People actually want to talk to you, which is great. You get a lot more text messages, a lot more emails of everyone saying nice job. I really wish I got a lot of those, text messages when I lost, because a little pick me up would be great every now and again. But I do appreciate a nice text every now and again. But it's been great. It's been fun. The attitude's been great. Everyone's been happy, and we're focused on Indy already, though.
Yeah, I know it's a grind. Every week is a new week, something new, a new task at hand. But like I said, Joey, I'm excited to talk to you because you have been so good here at North Wilkesboro. I mean, I went back and watched so much of your in-car from Sunday night, and it just seemed like, I know the track changed throughout the race, but you could roll bottom to make passes, roll the top, you could glide through the middle. So I guess my first question before we really get into this is just, where do you find the most speed at North Wilkesboro?
I think it moves around, and a lot of it depends on the balance of your car. If your car's got, good maneuverability in it, like my car had, you can kind of go wherever you want to go. But you've seen, where Shane was running in the 77, sometimes they were on the concrete into one, like way low. And then you had a lot of cars, the majority of cars were up by the fence. And you've seen the 19 have a segment of the race where he was ripping, and he was the fastest car for a little bit, running right up against a wall. And so my point is that the track migrates quite a bit. Some of it's just chasing the gray, right? Chasing where the track's green. Then it kind of over rubbers and moves back. But the biggest thing is you just got to have a balance that you can do those type of things and move around and run different lines. That way, when you do get to traffic and someone's in your line, you can move around. It's a lot easier said than done, right? Having a car that can do all that's pretty special. So I had a special one.
Yeah, definitely versatility is important, it seems. And speaking of traffic, I've got some highlights to show you in a moment, Joey. A lot of you trying to work your way through lap traffic. That was key in that final stage. But I want to start actually stage one. So because qualifying was rained out, you started 11th, I believe, had to work your way forward. Early in stage one, there was a caution that, we saw some drivers take no tires, 2 tires. You were one of the first on 4. Got kind of boxed in on the restart, but kind of helped me take me through this restart. You're able to grind your way back to 3rd, but you were the first car on 4 tires after a few laps. Making these passes, how important was it to get that track position back?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty important. Right here he's able to get underneath the 77, which he was a tough car to pass. He was really good on fire-off. His fire-off was really good. So where we kind of got a little bit messed up on this is I think I chose the wrong lane. I took shortest or bottom, and I thought that was the right thing to do. The top lane got a good start, and it kind of moved the whole lane forward before we even got into the corner. So I was like a row behind before we even got into the corner. I didn't have a good first lap and a half, which set me too far back. And by the time I got everything kind of squared away around me and started picking them off one at a time, I ran out of laps. And I ran my car too hard. So like when I actually caught the 97 and the 54 in front of me, they were kind of racing too wide. I was stuck in dirty. The track wasn't as wide as it was at the end of the race yet. And I was just there. Like I ran out. I ran out of speed. I beat it up too much to get there. So wasn't able to win the stage. I think that was probably, if there's one point in the race where we could have done better, we can question the strategy, right? Because 2 tires won the stage. But we can also, question whether or not what lane I chose was right too, right? So just probably wasn't the most perfect part of our race.
Well, I mean, my view of it was you got to be the first car on 4 tires. You were able to get ahead, pull away from Reddick and Hocevar, and Denny, I think, was on no tires, but that puts you ahead of some of the guys you had to compete with later in the race. And the other reason I showed that clip is we saw you again on the inside lane making those passes about as efficiently as we saw anyone pass for position all night long. Later in the race, or stage 2, the only guy to pass you for the lead all night, I think, was Shane van Gisbergen on that one restart. And then you got him back and were actually able to make this pass on the outside. But just battling Shane, we could see, this is him passing you. I'm sorry, I start with this clip. But then when we show you run him back down, he was defending the inside aggressively, it looked like. You were able to pass on the outside. So what was it like racing Shane, getting the lead here?
Well, I knew that he had one groove that worked for him, right? He had the bottom lane. That was his number one. That was his money, right? That's where it was going to be made for him. So I knew if I get him up off the bottom, the pass is probably going to be fairly simple from there. So my first attempt was to try to get underneath him, but he really liked to cover it. So like this, at this moment here, I kind of showed it to him and then swapped it back to the top just to get him to overdrive the entry a little bit, maybe get on the brake too much at the 1/3 to try to keep it on the bottom, get him off his marker a little bit, and then roll his top. So that move actually worked here. So the first move was try to get to his bottom, but he was not going to let it happen. Like he was gonna make me move him out of the way to do it. It was just trying to figure out which was the best way around him and doing it in a smart way. The way our tires are now, our tires are wearing out again, and it's awesome. Like it's a lot of fun. So you have to think about that. It's not just hammer city all the time where you just hammer, 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 and you're going to pass them and be fine. It's like, try, be smart, wait for him, watch him, see if he's burning his stuff up, get him pressured a little bit, get him to screw up a couple times, and then pounce on him. Like it's a lot more thought that goes into it than it was for the last few years, since now that we have the softer tires. So pretty fun.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it's fun for you because I think it's fun for, at least I have a fun time watching, and I hope other fans do as well. And two drivers who when I think of saving tires, great on short tracks, I think of you. I also think of Denny Hamlin, and the two of you kind of separated yourself in the final stage of this race. Though I noticed, at least from the POVs, the onboards, it seemed like you were a little more efficient than Denny getting through lap traffic, which kind of surprising because typically the leader, I guess, is at a disadvantage. They're getting raced a little bit harder. But I just want to show you this clip. This was right before your pit stops. How do you even begin to process what to do here when they're 2 and 3 wide in front of you? You know you have a fast car chasing you down, trying to chase you down. You're listening to the spotters. How do you even begin to parse through this kind of traffic?
Yeah, when you see it, I mean, our cars are so aero sensitive. You got to go where they're not. And, right here, I get a run underneath them. But I seen the line of cars up top there. The 3, I wanted to be on the very, very bottom. The 3 was kind of occupying that. So I was like, all right, I need to figure out a way to just get underneath them or something. But this is obviously a pretty challenging moment. Right here, I'm able to roll underneath them. And this was my bread and butter right here. I was able to just get off of turn 2 so good on the bottom and maintain some decent position on them. You're always going to lose off the bottom on the straightaway, but I was able to just stay there, right? Just be annoying enough to be like, I got you. And then shorter distance in 3 and 4, get a little bit of distance, you should be able to clear them off of 4. That was the way I was able to pass a lot of the cars throughout the field. So the good thing is my car was good in a lot of places, but it was good where a lot of cars weren't good, right? The top was the most occupied. I didn't have to be there to go fast, and that's what allowed me to get through the traffic.
That's good to know. And there was moments in this race where you had 2, 3, 4 cars right there in your windshield trying to parse through multiple cars at once. And then there are moments like this towards the end after pit stops when you have one car in front of you who's making it hard to pass. Riley Herbst was trying to stay on the lead lap. Denny's starting to close in. How do you keep your cool here? I saw you put the bumper to him at one point. How do you keep your cool and also make this pass when you know you're getting pressure as well from behind?
Well, I knew it was going to happen. I seen this coming for like 50 laps. He came off of pit road with like 20 lap newer tires than me.
Yeah.
And he passed me, and I thought, his boss, the guy that pays the bills, is running second. That's even more than a teammate, I believe, right? Like it's a lot. So I'm like, dang it, I can't let him get by me. Well, he got by me. He got far enough ahead. I'm like, okay, well maybe I won't catch him. Maybe he's a little better than I thought he would be. Well, of course, Eric, guys, he kind of got stuck in traffic, and I started reeling him back in. I was like, oh, this is going to be a tough one to pass. And he was. I mean, he was everywhere I wanted to be. And eventually I was able to roll to his outside here. But it was a tough pass because I had a second and a half or so lead when I caught him. And you can see right there how much Denny caught me by just being held up there. On top of that, the amount of tire I had to use to get around him. I didn't want to waste no time getting around him. That's why I laid the bumper to him eventually. I was like, you got to get out of the way. I got to go. Like, there's a lot here. But he was so disciplined on staying right in front of me. He was giving up potential speed in his car to make sure that he stayed in front of me. So he whoa it up a little bit. So when I hit him, it did nothing. I was like, oh, that did nothing. Like, that wasn't. He's not even on the edge. He's just staying right in front of me wherever I go. So eventually I was able to get there, but it definitely took longer than I wanted it to.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting you talk about the tires. I know you said after the race that maybe if you had a weakness, it was the short run. Were you conscious on the front end that, hey, I need tire on the back end, or were you just sort of trusting that your car's long run speed was going to kick in anyways? Like, just how hard were you pushing? Again, because watching at home, Denny was within a second, maybe a second and a half for 100 plus laps, it felt like. So I just with that pressure, how do you stay disciplined?
Well, it's very much a cat and mouse game between the two of us, I felt like. He did fire off a little bit better than me. He put the pressure on me. He made me have to go harder on the front end than I wanted to. So, all right, I got to push to, I couldn't afford to lose the lead. I knew if I lost the lead, I'm pretty sure it was over there unless lap traffic became a situation. So I was like, okay. So then I pushed a little harder there. But even once we kind of got cleared out and I got 10 laps on my tires, I was like, okay, I was like a half a tenth quicker than him. So I was kind of just inching away just a little bit. And then I catch some lap cars. Some of them I pull away more. And then I felt pretty good. And I was like, all right, I started just kind of managing, keeping the tires on it for the long haul the best I could. And then I lost all of it when I got to the 35. And you see a few times in that footage where I slipped it a couple times, right? I came off the corner, cross it up and catch it. I pissed them off a little bit, like the tires. So that wasn't good. But I felt like I had to use something there. I had to push hard there to get around. And so it was just a back and forth. There was moments where I tried to save and I can be okay for a little bit and manage the gap, and then there's times where I had to get all I could to stay ahead of him. So, and I know he was doing the same thing behind me. He's a smart short track racer. He's really, really smart, and so he was doing the same thing where he would make an attack and try to get there, try to close the gap, see what he had, almost test me, what do you got, how much more you got in there. And then so we'd kind of do that, and then do kind of just back up, and then we'd go at it again. It's just that's short track racing at its finest, where you got two experienced racers just playing with each other, seeing how much you got, how much more do you really got in the tank there, and by the end we all see what there was, right, when we both were pushing, but it's we knew we were in for a long haul there.
Well, it was fun to watch. Yeah, cat and mouse game between two heavyweights at over 100 miles per hour. The fans were the real winners in the whole thing, except you got the trophy. You were the real winner, Joey. Congratulations on the win. I don't want to take that away from you. Yeah, Joey Logano, huge win at North Wilkesboro. Congratulations again. Really appreciate you helping us to break it down here. That was super interesting, super enlightening from my seat. Hope it was for fans at home as well. Congrats again, and good luck this weekend at Indianapolis.
All righty, thanks for having me on. Hopefully see you soon.